Okay, so welcome to Wisdom from the Herd of Epona Rise. This is a new sort of a YouTube weekly series I'm going to be trying out here, kind of talking about the learnings and the messages that I learned from horses, in particular my herd. So this week what I wanted to talk about, and I'm just standing out here with the herd now, is efficiency. And I just had a women's group here this weekend that were renting out our retreat space. And it was an empowered business women's retreat. So basically they were here talking about their businesses and how do we move it forward. And I did a horse session with them. And one of the things that really presented itself, I'm here with my gelding Cheveo, was I think what I've learned from horses as prey animals is this place of efficiency. So horses, again, being prey, and what that means basically is they're preyed upon in the wild. They can't afford to waste their energy, because a horse wasting their energy is basically a dead horse. So what that means is horses are incredibly efficient. They're not, wasting their energy on worrying about things. Horses don't worry also because they don't have an ego. But they're not consuming their energy in wasteful places, whereas us as human beings, we're not really super efficient with our energy. So we worry about things that we can't control. We're putting our attention in the future or the past. We have something that maybe triggers us or puts us into stress, and then we stay in sort of a heightened state of stress and we don't ever come down. Whereas horses, if they did that, that's a dead horse. So one of the things that I've learned just by being around horses and watching the herd is this is efficiency, and how to be efficient with my own energy and really pay attention to where I'm being wasteful. Because even though we're not prey animals, us being wasteful with our energy also has an impact on our health. Stress, burnout, all of those things has a really serious impact on the things and on our life, right? In our health, in our business, and our relationships, and all of that. So how I put this into practice, again, it's just being with horses. You just really notice, even if they get heightened or if something spooks them, what you'll notice with horses is they might have a moment of reactivity. I'm out here with the herd. And then after they've sort of checked out or discerned what's in their space, they'll go back to grazing. So they really sort of check out, is there something I really need to be that's threatening my survival right now, or is it like a sheet blowing in the wind? As human beings, what happens is we have something that might trigger us, a worry or a fear of something that may or may not happen in the future. And then we kind of keep feeding that. It becomes this big story in our heads. It occupies a lot of space in our thoughts, and then it becomes where we basically leak our energy towards these things. So how do we become more efficient? So after kind of looking at how horses operate, so you see them, they don't stay heightened for very long because it's a threat to their energy and survival. They rest when they need to rest, so you also see them really do that. If they feel tired, they rest. If they eat or they're hungry, they eat. If they want to move, they move. Again, as human beings, for ourselves, we don't often listen to what our energy wants to do. So we can stay, I gotta work. We don't listen to those urges to rest when we need to. And that's another place of efficiency that I think we can learn from horses as well. So where I apply this in my own life is, first of all, making the connection between why it's so important for me to be efficient in myself, So why should I be conscious of my thoughts? And why should I be mindful of where I worry? And what's the impact that does on me? So I think just making that correlation, that when we're wasteful with our energy, with our thoughts, where we're thinking too much in the future, we're holding on to the past, it's really creating a detriment to my own health. And in terms of our productivity, if we're talking about productivity in the workplace, in our business, and what we're creating, if we don't have the energy to sustain what we're doing, or being really wasteful, we're not going to be able to move what we're moving forward. Our business is going to suffer. I think our capacity to work with, if you work with clients, is going to be impacted. And I know for myself, when I've not been conscious of this, it's taken a really big toll on me. So I don't have the energy and I don't have the effort that's required to hold the space for the things that I hold space for. I have an 80-acre retreat facility, I have a coaching practice, I have staff, I have 25 horses. If I'm being wasteful with my energy, I'm in big trouble. So how I apply sort of this wisdom of efficiency is I'm really conscious of what are my thoughts doing in my day. So where am I being wasteful with my energy? I think one of the things that I was talking to the women this week was to just be conscious of what is happening with your thoughts in your day-to-day life, because what often happens is we're not conscious and we just kind of let our thoughts do what they want to do. We don't tend to the things that maybe are causing us stress. So one of the practices that I will implement for myself is I actually, at the end of the day, just do a check-in. How am I feeling? What happened today? Is there something that's occupying space in my mind that I need to deal with? Is there a boundary I need to set? So that it's not sort of carrying through in my day-to-day unconsciously and I'm spending energy everywhere. The other thing, if there's something that is stressing me out, to really sort of check into what is stressing me out about this. So an example of that for me would be, I sometimes get very overwhelmed and think that I have to do everything on my own. And so how that manifests is I start to get anxiety about the tasks that I think I need to do, and I have staff and I have support. And so what often helps when I'm feeling anxiety is just checking in on, what am I feeling anxious about? Where can I ask for help so that I don't have to hold the stress of this? So it's just the little practices of that, being really mindful, can help us be more efficient. And then I think really letting things go. What I really learned from horses is when they have something that arises for them, either a conflict or a stress or a tension, they're really looking at what is that thing. And then when they realize what it is, they don't stay in that anymore. So if there's something that triggers me in my week, or whether it's an emotion or a boundary being stepped on, whatever it is, or a worry about something in my business, it's addressing it. And then once I've discerned what that is to let it go and to not hold it on anymore. I think we really hold on to things a lot as humans. So it's a practice. I really think mindfulness, another definition of mindfulness for me, is being conscious and aware of what our thoughts are doing all the time, and where we're spending our energy and how it's being expended, and being able to really bring our attention and energy back, so that we're not leaking things all over the place. So just again, to kind of, how do we pull forward this wisdom of efficiency? Be mindful of what your thoughts are doing. Take care of your emotional health too. Maybe do a check-in with yourself once a day. If there's a conflict or something that's arising, address it. Don't stay in that place of assumption. Don't feed the drama. Bring it to the surface of, what is this thing? If there's somebody you need to have a conversation with, have the conversation, because it's going to actually be more painful for us to continue to feed the conflict or the discomfort over actually addressing it. So these are some of the ways that I will sort of pay attention to that, and just sort of in the back of my mind, like even when I'm taking it forward for me this week, is just reminding myself to be efficient in my energy. And so that's going to sort of have me have extra attention again to my thoughts. And potentially, again, I think another really big one for us too is our tendency as human beings is we don't listen to our rhythms. So when I feel like maybe I'm a little bit tired and I want to rest or have a little bit of a nap, I'm going to take that nap, because if I listen to what my body wants to do and my energy wants to do, that's going to actually help me be productive in whatever it is that I'm working or creating. So those are the ways that I will pull it forward. Again, I think part of doing this is helping us bring to the surface what we can just learn from horses of how they operate and how we can bring those teachings into our own life. So this week is all about efficiency. If this resonates, love to hear it. If you have any questions or thoughts about what it means to be efficient, let me know. And happy to kind of speak to that space as well. If you're interested and curious, here's my mare Callie coming to join. If you're interested and curious about seeing more of our work, you can check out our website, hillaryschneider.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Hillary Schneider, or Women Who Run with Horses. Have a wonderful week, everybody.